Okay, example 8. I think this is a little bit insulting to your intelligence, but just to make sure you know how to do the Pythagorean theorem with some distances, it says, how high up on the wall will a 20-foot ladder reach if the foot of the ladder is placed 5 feet from the wall? So essentially you get a triangle that looks like this. Better take it off the eraser. You get a triangle that looks like this. This is a right angle. Here's 5. Here's 20. And what they want to know is that. We'll call that H. Okay? So that's all they want you to do. And we know that it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And we know that this is a leg, this is a leg, this is a hypotenuse. C is the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse, the little trick that I tell students is, if you forget where the hypotenuse is, it's the longest one, but it's always opposite the right angle. If you draw an arrow through the right angle, it points to the hypotenuse. So I already know the hypotenuse here is 20, and I have to square it. Okay? I don't care which one you call, if you call this A or if you call it B. I don't care if you call this A or B, it doesn't matter. You can interchange the legs. So I'm just going to say 5 squared plus H squared. So 5 squared is 25, 20, I don't know what H squared is, so I just write H squared, and 20 squared is 400. You subtract 25, and H squared equals 375. Now how do you undo squaring? Well, what you do is you take the square root. Now the problem is I don't know which square root I want, so we always have to put plus or minus, because there could be two negative numbers that multiplied together will give you a positive, and there could be two positive numbers multiplied together. So when you put the square root in, it's plus or minus. And you'll forget that, and you'll get burned on something later on. But remember, when you put the square root in to take you don't know if it's plus or minus. So I do that, and I'm going to get H equals, and right now we're not simplifying radicals, so I can just take the calculator and type this. There's a square root function above x squared, about halfway down near the number 7. Second square root 375. And that square root button is if you're using those TI calculators, those yellow calculators, and you'll get about 19.36. And we were talking about feet in the problem, so feet. So we've essentially done the problem. How high is the ladder up the wall? The ladder is 19.36 up the wall. So this distance right here up the wall is 19.36 feet.